Hi, my name is Tom Dreesen. I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my 47th year in show business. And my first 7 years started out in Chicago. I came out here in 1975, moved out here because as a stand-up comedian, you had to get on the Tonight Show in order to advance your career, and that's what I did. So I've been out here over 40 years, and hardly a day goes by that I don't miss Chicago. I feel, as most Chicagoans feel, it's the greatest city in the United States, and for good reasons. It's a great walking city. It's the beauty of the lake, the culture, the art institutes, the Frank Lloyd Wright influence on architecture, the sports. It's what a great sports town it is, with two Major League Baseball teams among Chicago Bulls, Chicago Blackhawks, and of course Chicago Fire, and it's just a great sports town. Restaurants can compete with any city in America, but the bottom line are the people. The people are the friendliest people in the United States, and that's what we miss the most when we come out here to the West Coast. And we're always trying to find reasons to get together. Chicagoans love to hang out. That's our favorite pastime, hanging out. And 1987, I'm going to refer to my notes if you don't mind, but in 1987, Chicagoans Ginny Weissman, who's a former TV Week editor at the Chicago Tribune, and Morgan Moore was a film publicist for John Iltis and Associates. They were living in Hollywood and working in the film and TV industry. They wanted to see their Chicago friends, and they knew there were many out here working in Hollywood, but there's no place to hang out here, no bar like Ricardo's or the Billy Goat Tavern in Chicago where everybody hung out, you know. Ginny and Morgan planned to have a cookout in Morgan's backyard to get everyone together. They started inviting friends, and one of the friends they invited was a girl named Trish Alexander, who's no longer here. She contacted me, and I went to this cookout, and they started talking about bringing Chicagoans together. And I suggested, why don't we talk to my friend Richie Melman? Richie Melman, who most of you know is one of the most successful restaurateurs in the world. He's probably managed 400 or 500 restaurants, not only in Chicago, but in Las Vegas and out here, of course, in the West Coast and all over the world for that matter. Well, we went over, Richie had a place here in Hollywood called Ed DeBevick's. So all four of us went over there, Trish Alexander, Ginny Weissman, Morgan Moore, and myself went over to Ed DeBevick's, and we met with Richie Melman and told him our idea for bringing Chicagoans together. We wanted to call it Windy City West. Richie said, fantastic idea. He said, I'll fly in Chicago food, deep dish pizza, beef sandwiches, hot dogs, Berghoff beer, Frango mince, Eli's cheesecake. It doesn't get any more Chicago than that. So the Windy City West founding committee was Ginny Weissman, Morgan Moore, Tom Dreesen, Linda Mancuso, Trish Alexander, Jeff Gordon, Karen Schiffman, and Kevin Galocoli. We formed this committee and started working on this project. The first party was held at Ed DeBevick's out here in Hollywood in 1987. 250 Chicago expatriates attended from the film and TV industry and from the recording industry as well. Alums of Second City, Northwestern University, the Goodman Theater, and Steppenwolf Theater were among the guests. I was the master of ceremonies and the host. The second year, nearly 1,000 people turned out. A tent was added to the parking lot of the restaurant, and the lines went around the blocks. We actually stopped traffic. We didn't realize that many people would come out. The parties continued for 10 consecutive years at Ed DeBevick's. The Windy City West Award was something we came up with. Let's give this to a current Chicagoan or former Chicagoan that was living out here. So it was presented to honorees like Steve Allen, Brandon Tartikoff, Mike Ditka, Fred Silverman, Lee Phillip and Bill Bell, Marley Matlin, and Chicago Cubs owner Tom Ricketts, just to name a few. In 1990, Ginny Weissman produced a one-hour special on Windy City West that was broadcast on WMAQ TV, Channel 5 in Chicago. In 1996, after all these years, the Windy City West Party went on hiatus because most of us were working in the industry and 3 of the committee members had passed away. So we let it go on hiatus for a couple of years, and then Brenda Sexton, who was the head of the, under the Illinois Film Commissioner, she was the Illinois Film Commissioner, Brenda Sexton. She revived it a few years later with a couple of parties at Universal City. In 2009, Ginny Weissman and Brenda approached Rich Melman again about hosting the Windy City West Party. He agreed, and the party was held at his new West Coast restaurant, La Grande Orange in Santa Monica, and again, flying in Chicago favorites like Lou Malnati's Pizza and Deep Dish Pizza and Portillo's beef sandwiches and hot dogs. In 2012, Windy City West celebrated its 25th anniversary at Let Us Entertain You's newest West Coast restaurant, the M Street Cafe and Stella Rosa Pizza Bar in Santa Monica. Once again, let us entertain you fluent Chicago food favorites for an evening of culinary camaraderie. Over the years, the celebrity guests have been just enormous. I'll try to name some of them here, but I know I'm going to leave some out. But we had people like Jim Belushi, Marilu Henner, Gary Cole, Gary Sinise, Bonnie Hunt, Ernie Banks, Adrian Zebed, Mark DiCarlo, Bill Zwecker, Joe Mantegna, Chris O'Donnell, Jeff Garland, Nick Vardolis, Dick Butkus, Richard Kind, Amy Landecker, Chaz Ebert, Joel Murray, Billy Zane, Dennis Farina, James Denton, Shecky Green, Shelley Berman, Robert Conrad, Sherry Lansing, and William Friedkin, Mandy Patinkin, Mandy Patinkin, Harvey Korman, Ed Asner, Mary Fran, Lois Nettleton, Adrian Zemed, Artie Johnson, Marsha Warfield, Tom Irwin, Harry and Gay Blackstone, Ken Ehrlich, and so many more. You know, we're planning a 30th Windy City West party in the year 2017. It's just a great time for us to get together and exchange ideas and thoughts and just talk about how much we love Chicago. That's how Windy City West started, and I hope this satisfies what Mark was looking for. Mark, I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to you, but I hope this suffices.